Right, so if we start off by talking about Friday's Premier League opener between Burnley and Man City. Obviously, Man City come away with the 3-0 win. Haaland scoring two straight away in the first half.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch it, but what do you think that says about City? Do you think, obviously, they've won the treble. What is their aim this season now, do you think? Because you've got a quadruple. Is it possible? Pep Guardiola said it isn't possible to do that.
Yeah, he also said it's impossible to win the treble in the current climate of football, and he's went and done it. I think it's definitely possible for City to do that, and I think that will be what they're aiming for. I think they'll want to retain the titles they won last season, and they'll want to try and push for more, but they won't admit that.
Yeah, but they've lost Gundogan, which is a big player. Mahrez. Who else have they lost? Is that it?
Cancelo's about to leave officially, but he was on loan anyway last year.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other players they've lost, but they have replaced Gundogan with Kovacic.
Yeah.
Which
he looked good the other night as well.
Kovacic is a good player. He's a very good player, but he's not got that goal output. Gundogan, when the other players like De Bruyne are out, he stood up with the last minute winners and whatnot. Kovacic isn't that player, but he's a very good replacement. Have they replaced Mahrez? Have they got anyone in for him? Do you know?
Mahrez, no. They've obviously got so many players in that position anyway. I don't think they really need to worry.
I think they were going for that Elise. Is it Elise? Elise from Crystal Palace?
Right, okay.
That young winger. I think they were looking at him, but I think Chelsea are about to do that one, hopefully, anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Talking about that game as well, at half-time, obviously they come off, I think it might have been 2-0 at half-time. Yeah, it was. Haaland scoring both of them. Pep Guardiola, the camera was on Haaland, and then you just see Pep Guardiola walking over to Haaland quite aggressively, and he's shouting at him, grabbing his arm. This is on the pitch whilst they're walking off the pitch, right in front of the camera, like you couldn't have been any closer. Do you think he could have handled... He actually ended up pushing the cameraman away. He said, go away, and pushed the camera. Do you not think he should handle them situations better, or do you think it's football, they're men, just let them get on with it?
Yeah, I think ultimately it does come down to it being football. Pep Guardiola knows exactly what he's doing. Very similar in a way to how Mourinho would treat some of his players at times. Not as bad as what Mourinho did, but it's psychological, it's mind games. That's what Pep's doing. He's kind of making Haaland work harder, even though he's just scored 2 goals. He done the same with Aguero.
Tough love.
Yeah. When he first came into City, he dropped Aguero for a time. Aguero was on the bench because he was scoring goals, but he wasn't fulfilling the role that Pep wanted.
Maximum potential.
Yeah, so he was on the bench, and I think he's doing the same with Haaland. Once he's finished, he'll be twice the player he is now. In my opinion.
Scary.
Yeah.
One standout player for me, I mean, Haaland got man of the match because he scored 2 goals, obviously, but for me, my man of the match was Rodri. I don't like him. He seems like a bit of an idiot as a person, as an opposition. Like, I wouldn't want to play against him, but he is, I said on our page, like he's a Rolls-Royce midfielder. Everything he does is simple, basic, and he never messes up really. Very rarely gives the ball away. He got himself a goal, actually, and he deserved that. I was watching that game thinking, all Rodri needs is a goal to top off his performance, and he got it in the end.
Yeah.
But he was just brilliant, and I've had to end up putting him in my dream team next week.
He's definitely like the heir to the number 6 for Spain, isn't he, from Busquets?
Yeah. How old is Rodri, do you know?
I think he's about 26.
Is he? He looks older than that, doesn't he? He looks like a bit of an old man.
Yeah.
But he looks very experienced already. Saturday's results, obviously the early kickoff was Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. We'd obviously just sold our goalkeeper, Matty Turner. He was our second or third choice to him a few days before we played him. So you always have that worry that he's going to have the game of his life because he's just left Arsenal, signed for Forest.
Yeah.
He'll keep everything out. But I think we were pretty comfortable watching the game. I had to watch it late on, but watching the game back, I think they didn't really worry us. Apart from the last 15 minutes, I don't know what happened. We just seemed to switch off a little bit, took our foot off the gas, and that's when they got their goal. It was just a counter-attack. Probably should have dealt with it better, but we didn't. But the 2-1 win, I was happy with that. And did you see all the problems with the ticketing as well? Did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
Right, so Arsenal have got this new system now. I can't explain it properly because I'm not too sure, but you can't have, like before, you get your ticket on a QR code, and then you could screenshot that and send that to your mate, and they could get in.
Mm-hmm.
Not you couldn't use it twice. If you sent that QR code to them, only they can use it.
Yeah.
They've stopped all that. Kickoff was meant to be at 12:30, but it got delayed to 1 o'clock because there was 35,000 people outside the ground, couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I know of someone who's in our WhatsApp group who there was a man in front of him having a fit, and the paramedics couldn't get to him. This was outside the turnstiles, outside the ground, because there was 35,000 people there, couldn't get in. Paramedics couldn't get to him. Bit of a disaster, really. And I think it was Tottenham had a similar problem yesterday, not as bad as Arsenal's, but I think all this ticket changing. I was having this conversation earlier with someone I know. What was wrong with paper tickets? Everyone loves a paper ticket. You get to keep it. You can show all your friends, your kids, your grandkids what games you went to. There's none of that now. That's been taken away from the game. And I think fans would love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I prefer it. Even football tickets, concert tickets, event tickets. I love having that little bit of, not even paper, it's more like card, isn't it? I love having that to just keep as a memory. It's the way things are going at the moment, but it's not good.
Bournemouth versus West Ham now, 1-1. I think that's probably expected, isn't it, that result, really? They're both not going to do great this season, I don't think. I mean, I've got a bet on with one of my West Ham mates that West Ham are going to get relegated, which I know is a big shout. But the reason I say that is because they struggled in the league last year. Yeah, they won the Europa Conference, but they struggled in the league with Declan Rice, okay? Now they've lost Declan Rice and they're in Europa League. It depends how seriously they take Europa League, and I can imagine they're going to take it quite seriously because it's big for them to be in it, isn't it? I think that will play a part. What do you think about West Ham? Do you think they'll go down? Do you think they'll stay up? People think I'm mad.
It really depends. West Ham have always been that kind of team where they're either going to float around mid-table, they might do okay one season, but the next season they could completely collapse.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say it as a Chelsea fan because we do as well, but that's one of them things with West Ham. I've always find it hard to predict how they're going to do, especially like you say, they've got European competition. Have they got a squad that's capable of doing the Premier League and Europe? They've lost Declan Rice, their captain. They've signed Harry Maguire, haven't they?
That is a rumour. I don't know if that's done.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And who else did they just sign? Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, 30 mil from Southampton. Yeah. I mean,
he's not a Declan Rice replacement, no.
He's not. He's not. He's more offensive, isn't he? We'll have to see how they do. I mean, it would be catastrophic if they went down after winning Europe, winning a European Cup, European trophy.
And I know for a fact, if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be looking at, hang on a minute, we've just got 100 mil for Declan Rice. They've probably sold a couple of others that I don't know about. Where's this money gone?
Yeah.
Because they haven't spent it on just Ward-Prowse, have they, Maguire?
And their squad, I mean, even if you count them two players in, their squad still doesn't look great, does it?
No. Like,
there's not really any standout players, in my opinion, in that squad.
There isn't. And they've got Antonio up front, who isn't a striker.
No.
I just think they'll be in trouble. I think they'll end up going down. Brighton, Luton, now 4-1 Brighton. I mean, Brighton are quality, don't get me wrong. And I don't know where I've put them in the league. I think I've got them to finish 5th or 6th.
Right.
And I've got Luton to finish dead bottom. So I think Luton are bang in trouble. Do you think they'll be worse than Derby's record?
No, I think they're definitely going to go down. But I think they'll struggle to outdo Derby's record. On the topic of Luton, did you hear about their left back?
No.
Their left back is the first player in, I think it's British football history, to go up to play in 5 different divisions with the same club.
Yeah, now you said that, yeah.
When he first started playing for Luton, they were training in a local park.
Wow.
And now he's playing at Old Trafford.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
What a rise.
That may never happen again.
No, absolutely not.
That's quite a story, isn't it? Everton versus Fulham at Everton. Fulham win 1-0. Fulham have made some good signings on a free. They've got Adama
Traore,
yes, him on a free, and Jimenez for free, both from Wolves. Great business.
That Adama Traore is probably the better signing of the two, I think.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree. Yeah,
depending on how they use him. I mean, they've also got Willian. He's back there for another season. He's getting on a bit, but he done
well for Fulham last year.
He can still put a bit of magic in the bag.
Imagine him if they do a front three. surely it'd be Traore on the right, Willian on the left, Mitrovic in the middle.
That is frightening.
It is.
Because even though Williams lost his pace, he's still tricky. He can still get a shot on goal.
Yeah.
He's good at free kicks.
He ain't slow, no.
No, he's not slow. But I mean, he's like 34.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, he'll be like 35. Jimenez, he can get you a goal or two, can't he? And Traore, he's massive and he's quite quick as well.
Yeah.
So
great signings, great business. And what is going on with Wolves? Why are they letting them players go for free?
Yeah.
They're banging trouble. And I've got told today they sacked their manager as well, and they've brought in, I think, Bournemouth's manager from last year.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're banging trouble, yeah.
So did Bournemouth get rid of their manager from last year then, even though they went up?
Or it's one of the ones they sacked. I'm not too sure.
Right, yeah.
I think he's from Bournemouth. I think they're going down. I think they're banging trouble, Wolves. Sheffield United, obviously their first game in the Prem this season, versus Palace. Palace win 1-0 away. Is that Roy Hodgson still?
Yeah, he's back.
Still there?
He's still there for another year.
Yeah.
I remember your surprise when I told you that he was going to Palace.
Yeah.
He was like, no, he ain't.
Yeah, he is old, isn't he? So Edouard scored in the 49th minute. I don't know much about that game, if I'm honest.
No. Good player, though, Edouard.
Is he the one from Celtic? Did he play for Celtic?
He did, yeah. He's a French striker, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he played for Celtic. He was good for them. And then Newcastle absolutely smashed Villa. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
No.
I mean, if I was to back anyone, it'd be Newcastle, but not 5-1 against Aston Villa, who looked really good last year, didn't they?
They've made a statement with that game. They really have. I reckon they're going to finish top 4 again this season.
100%, yeah. I think they'll be in that top 4. There's not 4 teams better than them.
No, they'll be up there, definitely. Without a doubt.
Who scored their goals? Let's have a look.
Isaac got 2.
Yeah, he's in my dream team. Happy days. Callum Wilson and Harvey Barnes, new signing. He's a great player. I said last year I'd have him at Arsenal. Harvey Barnes, very good player.
They're not sort of like, you think of Newcastle with all the money they got. Callum Wilson, Harvey Barnes, even Isaac, they're not their big Galactico blockbuster signings, are they? No, but they get the job done, and they're good system players that fit into the profile that Newcastle have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very clever the way they've managed that.
Yeah, it doesn't always pay to go out and buy all massive names, because what comes with that? Egos.
Like you're going to find with Havertz.
I don't think Havertz is the sort of player to have an ego, do you? You don't come across as one of them players.
Not an ego as such, but...
you might have a bit of an attitude on him, I think.
You'll find he's very kind of like a lazy player. You could call him lazy. He looks like he plays lazy.
He thinks he's a luxury player, doesn't he?
Yeah. He is kind of a luxury player, I would argue. But it's just if you can get the system to suit him.
I can't see it just yet, and I hope I'm proven wrong, but I'm not happy with the signing, to be honest, and the price tag as well is ridiculous.
Do you mind if we just touch on Arsenal for a moment?
Yeah.
Because I know you're obviously an Arsenal fan. What's your assessment of yesterday's game? Obviously, you won 2-1, didn't you?
That was Saturday.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What was your assessment? You won 2-1.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the overall performance?
We played really well.
Yeah.
We dominated. I think 2-1 is probably the right result, but we did dominate them until the last 15 minutes. They got into the game. Obviously, Timber come off injured. I've been reading today, it looks like he's out for 4 or 5 months.
Jesus.
ACL. Or meniscus. He might have done his meniscus.
Yeah.
No one was... Did you see it?
No.
So no one... He made a tackle earlier on, which was a bit of a dodgy tackle. I think he might have even got booked for it, but he come out worse. But he carried on playing. And then the ball come to him. He controlled it. No one around him, and he fell to the floor in agony. It looked like his calf, but it's come out. It looks like it's going to be his knee. ACL's been mentioned, and meniscus, which they're saying 4 or 5 months, which is a big loss because he was looking very good for us.
Yeah, he was solid. So, do you think Arsenal will go in for a replacement?
No, I just think now we won't get rid of Tierney.
Right.
I think Tierney probably would have been going because he just hasn't been playing, and he's been fit. But Arteta just obviously, I don't know, there must be something going on there that we don't see. Because I'm not a massive fan of Zinchenko. He's good going forward when he plays in that inverted centre mid. But defending, he's not great.
Yeah.
Kieran Tierney's better at defending. I'm still not a huge fan of Tierney. I've not seen enough of him. When he plays well, but there's a massive hype about him, and I'm yet to see him live up to that hype. Like they were saying that he's better than Andy Robertson, because they both obviously play for Scotland.
Yeah.
He's not.
Right.
He's not. I mean, Robertson's class and consistent. I think that's what makes you that that was what puts you in that bracket of being not world class, but he's class.
Yeah.
Because he's consistently good.
Yeah.
You're getting a 7, 8, 9 out of 10 every week. They're bad games. It's still a 7.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even compare Tierney to Robertson personally. The potential's there, and when he first came over, everyone was going, "Oh, he's going to be the next Arsenal captain." I thought it as well, purely because of his aggression and his passion. He's Scottish. People loved it because he was wearing shorts in the snow and all that. But that wound me up more than anything because all his injuries were knees and things, and it's like, well.
Yeah.
Dress appropriately, and you might not get these knee injuries. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I'm a bit old school like that. So yeah, that's that. We played well, I think, and this might be a bit of a bold claim. Just going off watching City one game. I know it's only one game, and watching Arsenal one game. We looked better than City.
Right. Okay.
Just going off the first game of the season. I'm not saying we are better than City, but just going off the first game, I'd say we look better than City.
So what went wrong with the goal you conceded then?
They counter-attacked down the left-hand side. Their sub come on, and he was rapid. I don't know who he is. Let's have a look quickly. He was fast. Do you know what? When they broke, I said it out loud actually. I went, he's fast.
Yeah.
And then he got on the end of it. I can't say that name. Awoniyi.
Oh, okay.
Taiwo or Awoniyi. They just countered down the left. They whipped it in low. He made a darting run across the front of the defender. A good movement from a striker. Got in front of the defender, tapped it in. He was about 3 yards out. But it was the run across the front. Yeah. Tap. They're not easy. Great finish. But other than that, they didn't really bother us.
Did you just catch you off guard? Yeah. Your defence was sleeping?
Switched off. They scored. That's why I'm not bothered about it, because it happens. I didn't come away from that game thinking, I'm worried about this season. Like, it's actually made me look forward to it. We look good. Saka, unreal. His goal was unreal.
He's got to be the best right winger in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I couldn't name a better one. I couldn't. Literally. And everyone says, oh, him or Foden. It's not a question for me. It's not. Watching him week in, week out, Saka is so much better. I know they play slightly different roles. Yeah. But there was a comparison with them. And for me, there's no comparison. If Saka was in that City team, it'd be frightening. He's frightening in the Arsenal team, let's be honest.
That's one thing I can see happening, though. If Arsenal don't eventually capitalise on how you're playing in the team you've got, and you don't win big trophies, I can see someone like Saka going to see.
Yeah, and as Arsenal fans, as much as we won't want to see it, it's one of them where you can't blame them. Same as Van Persie. Yeah. When he went to United, I mean, still to this day, Arsenal fans absolutely hate him. I was one of them where I thought, he's gone there because he wants to win the league. And he won it in his first year. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he was never going to win it at Arsenal. So can you blame him? Like when you that you've got to be selfish. Yeah. It's easy just saying, why have you done it? Look what he's done. He's won the Premier League. I think he won it more than once, maybe. He won it in his first season.
Yeah. And it was Ferguson's last season, wasn't it?
Yeah. So fair play to him.
A bit like Harry Kane. Went to Bayern Munich.
I find that move weird, though.
It's a strange one. England captain going to play for the German champions.
I'm well happy. But what a weird move. I still think weird move. Out of all the teams he could have gone to, I just didn't see him leaving the Prem because of the Alan Shearer record. He will not beat that now. He will not, even if he comes back. Because I was saying, how old is he? 30. So how long is his contract?
About 5 years, I think. But they don't have to see out their contract.
No, okay. So say he's there for 2 years,
2 or 3 years, even. Yeah.
Yeah, but say 2 years. Yeah. He'll be 32. I'm saying he needs 3 full seasons in the Premier League to beat that record, because he needs 50 odd goals. I think he's getting older. Mm-hmm. You need 3 seasons to confirm that you beat that record. He ain't doing that between the ages of 33 and 35, 33 and 36.
I reckon he could.
No,
I reckon he could, because look at Lewandowski when he was at Bayern Munich. He was still performing at the very top level, and he was older than Kane.
At Bayern Munich, where there's 2 teams in the league.
Yeah, but he's still doing it at Barcelona. I know they're not the Premier League.
He wouldn't do it in the Premier League
but
at that age.
Look at Ibrahimovic. When he came to United that first season, he was 34, 35. He's still done really well.
For 1 season. Kane's got to do it for 3 seasons to beat that record. Can you see him doing it over 3 seasons?
I reckon he would be in with maybe not over 3 seasons, but if he, let's say, stays in the Premier League until he's 37, and he maybe doesn't start every game or most games, and he gets the penalties, he might
I just can't see it. He's already dropping deeper. Well, he was for Tottenham. He started dropping deeper. Although he's still scored a lot of goals. I just can't see it, personally. That's just my opinion. Right, so we was on Sunday's fixtures, weren't we?
Yep.
Brentford versus Spurs. Good game. I watched that in the pub. 2-2.
Yeah.
Brentford looked really good, I thought. I like Brentford. I like their manager.
And that's without with Rayo. He's gone now, isn't he? So.
Yeah, and Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
He's out. I just think they play really good football, and I think they do well this season. Spurs didn't look as bad as I thought they would without Kane, but then when Kane got injured before, like over the last couple of years, they've always done well without him.
Yeah.
It's not like they buckle when he's not in the team.
It's kind of like, and I think you can sort of understand this being an Arsenal fan, when Henry left Arsenal, the rest of the team stood up a little bit more and the goals were shared around. I think that probably happened with Spurs. It happened with Chelsea when we lost Hazard. I think that probably happened with Spurs. Now chip the goals in, but still, they're going to be in for a miserable year, I think.
I reckon so. I think they will really struggle unless they do something extraordinary in the last. How long's the window open for now?
Oh, probably till the 1st of September, I think.
Yeah, it's not long, is it?
No.
They need to pull something out of the bag. They keep too much deadwood for years. Like you speak to Tottenham fans, and they're right. Like they've still got players like Dyer. Is it Davis? Is it still there?
Yeah, Ben Davis, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Davis. And no, the other one is it the black one. Is it Sanchez or Davies?
Davinson Sanchez. Yeah.
Davinson Sanchez, but they did have a Davis, didn't they?
Yeah, he was left back. I don't know if he's still there or not.
Yeah, they've just got quite a lot of deadwood. I mean, how Dyer is still there. I can't stand him. I think he's absolutely terrible. Like I'd hate to keep a player. Arsenal used to do it. To be fair, we kept so many deadwood for so long. Chelsea done it as well at one point. You need to get rid of players like that to move on.
Yeah, I agree. But I saw a graphic on one of the socials earlier on. The last time when Tottenham got a big transfer spend or income from Bale, and like the 6 signings they made. Lamela.
Didn't last long.
All of them, you could look at them and you'd be like, I can't even remember seeing you play in the Premier League, apart from Eriksen.
Yeah.
Do you think Tottenham will go and do something like that again? Or do you think they've got 100 million, they're going to go out and buy another top-class striker? Because there is rumours that they're interested in Lukaku.
Yeah, and I think Lukaku would be a good fit for them, actually. And no one wants him, do they? No, he's in trouble. I was having this conversation yesterday or the day before with someone. I think we've spoken about it before. Like, he's obviously at Chelsea, technically, isn't he? But they don't want him.
Yeah.
He was at Inter Milan. They loved him until they found out. You told me that he was having contract talks with Juventus before the Champions League final.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
So he's come back to Chelsea. They don't want you. Inter Milan don't want you back. What's going on with him?
At the moment, he's training away at Chelsea, but away from the first team squad. So you've got him, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi training on their own, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Why Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi? Just because the manager don't want them?
Yeah.
Not that they've done anything wrong.
Yeah, and I think there's always been problems with Ziyech. He's always been one of them ones where you get a bit of upset in the dressing room under previous managers, and his name always pops up as being.
He looks like a bit of a twat, doesn't he?
So I think Pochettino's just look, right, you're not in the squad. We don't want you training with the first team.
Yeah.
Go and, get your move. Go to Saudi, wherever.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for him
to
go.
Is he Muslim?
Yeah.
Yeah, so perfect, isn't it?
Well, he was meant
Saudi.
He did have we did have a fee agreed with Saudi, but then they done the medical on him and it turned out that he's got something wrong with him, or it looks like there could be a problem in the future with his hip or something.
Oh, really?
So they pulled out of it. So I don't know what we're going to do with him. But
obviously, let's move on to Chelsea then whilst we're on it. Chelsea-Liverpool 1-1. I said to you earlier, you look better than I thought you would, to be quite honest, because obviously I'm going off what I saw last season at the Emirates. I can't remember what score. We smashed it, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was quite comfortable.
I think everyone smashed us last year.
You were terrible. Like, you were worse than I thought you were going to be when I went to that game. So when I watched you yesterday, I was quite surprised how good you looked. It was quite a good game to watch, considering it was 1-0. It was a decent 1-0, wasn't it? It weren't boring. How do you feel the game went?
I'm happy with it. I mean, it's the first time we've showed up in about a year, to be honest with you. When the first goal went in, I thought, oh my God, here we go again. And then when the second goal went in, I thought, oh, this is it. This is going to be 5-6-0. Luckily, it was offside, and we kind of pulled it back. We got a goal, then went 2-1 up. It was ruled out. Yeah. It was a good game.
So talk us through your goal.
Our goal? Yeah, so it was from the most unlikeliest to goal scorers. It was a centre back.
Yeah.
We signed him like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ben
Who is
Chilwell.
he? Do you know much about him?
Axel Tissesi. So I think he's about 25, French centre back. Signed because of his height.
Yeah.
Pochettino wanted someone in the squad with that aerial presence.
Yeah.
You know, with our centre backs, we had Colwill, Silva, but he wanted a bit more height in there. The midfield's quite small. Signed him pretty cheap. Fofana's injured. He comes in, scores a goal in his debut. Happy days. But yeah, no. Overall, I think it was a good game. I'm happy with the progress. The lineup, the system did shock me a little bit. Went to a back three, something that we've not done at all in pre-season. But then Pochettino says after the game that actually no, he was playing a back four, but it's just the personnel were different.
Right.
And Chilwell was playing in midfield.
Yeah.
So it looked like an inverted left wing back.
This is what we done with, like, when Sky Sports come up with Arsenal starting 11, it looked like, so Timber was left back, and then it was Saliba and Ben White centre back and Thomas Partey right back. But as the commentator said, he's not right back. He is when we've not got the ball.
Yeah.
When we've got the ball, he's a centre midfielder.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he's done. It just seems that's how people are going now. Obviously, Pep started it with Zinchenko, and then was doing it with Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
Arsenal have copied it, as we do with City, and now it looks like Pochettino's doing it. Just shows how football's evolving, really. I'm not a huge fan of it, really, but maybe because I'm not comfortable with it because we're not used to it, but might be the future.
Just shows how Pep's changing the game, really.
Yeah.
Continuously changing the game.
Yeah.
Yes, how good he is.
You
as a
must be
manager.
well happy with Pochettino.
Yeah, I mean...
I like him as a manager, I do.
At first, I was a bit hesitant to say that I was happy with that appointment, just
Why?
because of his... Well, he didn't win anything with Spurs, and I know a lot of great managers don't win anything with Spurs. Mourinho, Conte.
Yeah.
Went PSG. It's a default you're going to win the league, but I think one of the seasons he was there, he didn't win the league.
Yeah.
Didn't win Champions League.
Yeah.
So he was let go from PSG. But, you can't judge a manager based on PSG is what I've learned. Look at Tuchel.
Yeah.
He got sacked from PSG, he won the Champions League with us. So
Yeah.
No,
What you got to look at his career path. I mean, I don't know where he was before Southampton.
Espanyol, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
But let's start at Southampton then. He's gone from Southampton to Tottenham, that are a big club, but they're not massive. Then all of a sudden PSG, where you're in charge of Messi,
Yeah.
Neymar, Mbappe. You try and keep all three of them happy.
Yeah.
All massive, like we said earlier, massive egos that come with that. Although I can't see Messi having an ego, but we don't know. Neymar and Mbappe definitely have. That's without the rest of the team.
Yeah.
That's without worrying about the rest of the team.
Yeah.
It's a hard job. With Pochettino, when he was Tottenham's manager, that was the only time I would go up to watch Arsenal versus Tottenham. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, we could lose today.
Right.
Tottenham were at their best under Poch. And
yeah.
when I got that Sky Sports notification that he'd been sacked or he'd left, I can't remember what it said, it made my day. I was so happy because I thought, now I don't need to worry when we play Tottenham again. And we didn't. Like, that was a weird decision, but I'd be happy if I was you, to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, it's we had
It's
a
already
good
showing the
pre-season.
difference in the football.
Yeah.
He's so attacking.
Yeah. Had a good pre-season. And, a point against Liverpool at home. We was at home, but I'd still be happy with that,
100%.
considering where we was last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And considering how Liverpool have improved as well, or changed their team around. So overall, positive. I think, we've got Casado coming in. He's signed today.
Just about to mention that, yeah.
115 mil. Him and Enzo in midfield. That's got to be the best double pivot in the league. Can you think of a better one?
Not off the top of my head, that's quite a big statement. I think his price tag is probably making you say that. I think he was bought for 4.5 million, a year ago? Or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
They've made 111 million profit in a year. I just think you've had your pants pulled down. And same with Lavia.
Oh, yeah. It's
Oh no, sorry, no. You said you were going to pay 150 for Lavia because you got confused. You're not paying that, are you?
No, it's
You're
about
paying
55 or 60 we're getting for Lavia.
That's still a lot for a player that's really young and just been relegated.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I think definitely he's got potential. We'll see where it goes.
But you pay 55 million for potential.
That's all Chelsea do nowadays.
Yeah, I'm just not used to it being an Arsenal fan.
We paid a lot. What was it with if he hits his add-ons, Mudrik's going to be like over 80 million. You know. So
He's not starting, is he?
not at the moment. Not at the moment. But hopefully he can have a good season.
I hope
Hopefully
he
can
doesn't.
settle.
I hope he miserably fails. I hope
Yeah, I
he's
bet he
such
does.
a fail.
Yeah, I bet you do. But I hope Havertz does as well.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see your frustration when he's through on goal and he skies it.
Well, he was through on goal. He was through on goal. Yes, you didn't watch the game, did
No.
you? So Arsenal, we played him through. He had 2 defenders behind him, but he brought it. This is a rule actually that I want to talk about. So Ali McCoy's brought it up in commentary. So the ball got played over the top.
Mm-hmm.
He did bring it down with his arm. It was handball.
Right.
The ref let it play on. He runs through. The keeper makes a save. It goes out for corner. Now, in my opinion, and Ali McCoy said the same, that should be a free kick.
Yeah.
Because if he goes through and scores, VAR would have got involved and
Yeah.
disallowed the goal and you would have got the free kick.
Exactly.
Because he's gone through and the keeper saved it, the ref's played on. We've got a corner. We
Yeah.
could score from that. Which, don't get me wrong, I would have moaned. But I'd be fuming if I was a Nottingham Forest fan if we went on to score that corner.
Yeah, that's
Because it was
wrong.
handball.
Yeah. That's wrong.
Originally. That's a rule that needs to be looked at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
So we spoke about Neymar slightly with his ego. He's just signed for a Saudi Arabia team, another world-class player going out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting sick of talking about it, but it just seems like it's never going to stop, this Saudi.
Europe's going to not have much left, is it?
No.
But I think I can't remember what manager I was listening to or reading an article about, a Premier League manager. They were saying that even though all these big players are going to Saudi Arabia and leaving England, Kane's not gone Saudi, but there's another English player that's gone abroad. It's giving more opportunities to the younger lads in the academies to come through into the first team. So it can be a positive in that respect. But
It can, but yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I do kind of, wonder, is the Champions League at some stage going to lose its appeal slightly when all these big players aren't in it anymore?
Yeah, it just seems like bigger names are now. They've turned their head in to Saudi Arabia. The money's out there. It's ridiculous. You can't compete.
No.
But hopefully UEFA step in at some point and stop it. I don't know how they'll do that, but I think I heard someone say, I read that they're the only ones that can stop it if it was to be stopped.
Through UEFA.
Yeah.
Isn't that they just cover Europe, though, don't they? Well, it has to be FIFA, I guess.
Oh, it might be FIFA,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry. I can't remember, but it was either FIFA or UEFA. Probably was FIFA.
Could you imagine the Saudi Arabia All-Star team? If they done like MLS All-Stars, if they done a Saudi Arabia All-Stars,
Versus...
imagine playing them in a pre-season friendly. Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone. Like, you've got Ronaldo up front, Neymar on the left, you could have Mane on the right or someone else.
Firmino. He scored a hat-trick on his debut, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, the other day, yeah. Who else have they got out there?
They've got so many. Koulibaly's out there from Chelsea. Kante's out there. Like,
Benzema.
Jesus.
But he doesn't even make the front three.
No.
That you've just named. Like, how mad
about
is
him.
that?
I forgot. And
Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
Don't even make the front
current.
three.
You could have Benzema, Ronaldo, 2 up top, and Neymar just behind him. But then you could also stick Mane in there and Firmino somewhere. Mahrez, like the only what I've noticed about Saudi though, the area they're lacking in is defence.
Yeah.
They brought Koulibaly, but that's
Mendy's
it.
out there in goal.
Mendy, but did you see what happened on his debut?
No.
God, the ball came to him. He passed it. So the ball came to him. I think he hit it first time, passed it along the floor for about 30 yards.
Yeah.
Went to the opposition player, and they just stuck it in the top corner. And he was probably just on the edge of his box.
Really?
Yeah, on his debut.
I obviously saw that happen to Onana, didn't it?
Yeah, very similar, yeah.
Wow.
So that was Mendy on his debut in Saudi Arabia, and he gets done over like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
I'm glad he's not at Chelsea anymore.
Yeah, he seemed like a good goalkeeper. I rate him. What's going on with the other Mendy that had all the rape charges against him?
They've been dropped.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but he's just signed for Lille
I think so, yeah, a team in France.
or Lens or someone like that.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I think for him, though, I mean, it's hindsight and he may not have wanted to do it. I probably would have gone Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
All the money you've probably lost, although he's suing City, I
Yeah,
think.
he's trying to get them wages
Yeah,
back.
rightly so and all.
Yeah.
I think Saudi Arabia might have been a good shout for him to recoup all that money if he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Just live a happy life, get loads of money for your family, and
Get away from the media as well.
exactly.
Because
Yeah.
he's probably had enough of that for the
And
last few years.
French, they will be on him
Yeah.
out there, the media. Although now he's been
Cleared.
proven innocent, they should leave him alone. You'd like to think, but you never know with the press, do you?
thing is, he's a good left. He was a good left back when he was playing regularly. City spent over 50 million on him.
He's quality.
Yeah, so I mean, like if he can get back and playing football again, I mean, what is he now? 28?
Because he weren't allowed to play football or anything, was
No.
he? He weren't allowed to train. I don't think.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I mean, he's like Ericsson after he had his heart attack. Didn't he have a heart attack? Didn't he? He went to a smaller club.
Yeah, and worked his way back.
Yeah, and then now he's back at United, Champions League football and that. So.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he's there. Yeah. If we now move on, we've done all the football. Obviously, United are playing at some point versus Wolves. Is it at Old Trafford? Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to look forward to that one. See old Money Mace playing in his number 7 Man United top.
Is he? He ain't playing. Is he?
Mason Mount.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Mason Greenwood.
Oh, right. No.
Oh, surely he's not playing.
Because we're talking about other stuff.
Yeah. It's all on the mind. Yeah, I think he'll do all right at United. I like Mason Mount. I think he's a good player. I would have rather have taken him than Havertz. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I do like Mason Mount.
Yeah. Is he United number 7 material?
No. Who's like Ronaldo, Beckham, Cantona? Was he 7? No.
Yeah.
No, he's not. But good luck to him. And they're playing a very, very poor Wolves. I mean, if United don't win that, that's a bad result. I can't see them not winning it, to be honest. I can see it being quite comfortable, to be honest. At the starting, obviously it's in an hour's time. We'll look at the starting lineup.
Yeah, see his time.
So Onana in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that seems to be playing really well under Ten Hag. Varane and Martinez and Luke Shaw. That's a strong back four.
Yeah.
Midfield 5, really. Oh no, it's more of a 3. So Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Bruno Fernandes. That's a very good 3 again. And then up front, it looks like Anthony on the right, Garnacho, who's a good player, and Marcus Rashford in the central position up front. That's a strong 11.
Who's on the bench? Is that Højlund or his name? The one that's similar to Haaland.
Christian Eriksen, McTominay that I've heard's on his way out. Jadon Sancho. He's just not hit the ground running, has he, really, since going to United? Harry Maguire, so he's not at West Ham.
Right, yeah.
Dalot. Martial. How's Martial? Oh, no, Anthony. Sorry. Anthony's starting, not Anthony Martial. Martial's on the bench. Lindelof. Dean Henderson, obviously the goalkeeper. And Pellistri.
Oh, yeah, the Uruguayan forward. Young lad.
That's a strong team. I tell you what, they've got a strong squad, actually, looking at that. And that's why I've got them as finishing 3rd.
Right.
I've got City winning the league, as much as I'd love Arsenal too. And I can't see Arsenal not winning it. I just think City will just do it.
They're just too good
They'll
at the
just
moment.
do it, yeah. And then I've got Arsenal finishing 2nd. And I'm pretty sure I went for United 3rd. And then Newcastle 4th. I think United are going to be dark horses in this league.
It's so hard to call, though, isn't it? Because, like, if you think about that top 4 you've just given us, you've left out Liverpool as well.
I just don't think Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool is good as City, Arsenal, United, and Newcastle at the moment.
Really?
Nah.
I think this isn't the thing, right? If Newcastle were playing Liverpool, I would have my money on Liverpool. I really would.
At Anfield, maybe. At Newcastle, about Newcastle. It's one of them. I think they'd both win at their home grounds.
Right.
Newcastle are very good.
It's just so hard to try and call a top 4 with the amount of good teams we have at the moment. Like, add Newcastle to the equation, Brighton are on their way up as well. It's so hard to call that one.
Wolves starting 11 is, it is terrible.
Really?
Jose Sarr in goal, Semedo right back, Kilman and Dawson centre back, and then Nuri left back, Matthews Nunes in the middle, with Gomez and Lamina, so 3 in the middle, and then up front, Pedro Neto, Sarabia, and Cunha. They're going down, I think.
What is it? João Pedro? Did you say?
No, Pedro Neto.
Oh.
Is up front. Who've they got on the bench worth talking about? Matt Doherty's on the bench. How is he not getting in that team? He's just come. He went to Atletico, didn't he? He went from Tottenham to Atletico Madrid. Am I on about someone else?
No, I think you're right. I think he might have been rumoured to go there, to be fair. I think he was linked, but I don't think he went.
I think he went. He was there last year.
Was he there last year?
I think he had a season there.
Jesus, I thought it was only this year.
The season just gone. I'm sure he was there.
I'm going to look at this.
Have a look. Yeah, have a look. But they've got no one on that bench. No one. They got Totti, but I don't think it's the Totti we all know and love.
No.
It's a shame, really, because that was a couple of years ago. Wolves were looking decent, weren't they?
They
looking
were.
very good.
Oh, you're right. So, yeah, he did
He
go
done what Trippier done, went from Tottenham to Atletico, both right backs.
Played 2 games for him in the league.
Is that it?
Yeah, 2 games.
Wow, that's terrible, isn't it? He was good at Wolves as well before he went Tottenham.
He was.
So
He was a Conte signing, wasn't he?
yeah. Right, so if we go into our segment of our For the Love of Football podcast Dream Team League,
Yeah.
let's see how teams are doing. I mean, Kieran Lawley has got off to a great start, 90 points. Odegaardium Leviosa is his team name. Great name. Although Ryan Richards, whatever you want to call him, Tyler Mate FC, he's only 1 point behind Kieran Lawley, and then Joe Delo's third on 85 points, and then Matt Elliott, who's my assistant for my under 10s.
Mm-hmm.
He actually come up with the name for the podcast, by the way.
Oh,
I don't know if you know that.
No.
I put it on Facebook. Anyone got good names, and he come up with the name For the Love of Football.
Oh.
So shout out to Matt for that.
Yeah.
And then I won't go through it all because there's 33 teams. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the winner gets 330 quid. I'm 7th, which I'm happy about because I don't ever do well in these things. I normally get 2 weeks in and forget. There's transfers and stuff.
Yeah, so with this, do you have to regularly make transfers?
Yeah, I've already set up my team for next week. I've got rid of both Liverpool players. I had Kanate, a centre back, and I had that new one. I can't say his name. No.
All right.
Centre mid.
Yeah,
whatever his name is. I had him. I've taken them out. I've put Rodri in, and I can't remember who I put centre back. Where are you? What's your team name?
Real Mad Dog.
Real Mad Dog. You are 10th, like you did say that, didn't you? You are 10th on 74. I mean, it's only 1 week in. Dan Bartlett's not got off to a good start. He's bottom on 42 points.
If I'm right, I think I might have Kane up front.
Really? Might want to change that. Neil Todd's 23rd. Unlucky Neil. Not a great start, is it, mate? If you're listening. Jordan Wise, 8th on 75.
You said there's 33 teams in there?
33, yeah.
Okay, so 10th's pretty good then.
Yeah, and like I said, there's teams with, I'm guessing there's players with United players in it playing tonight.
Yeah.
And we're only 1 week in, but yeah, no, that'd be good. And we'll talk about this every week, keeping everyone updated.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Have you got anything you want to talk about? Anything I haven't mentioned? I don't think anything else has happened, really.
No, I think we've pretty much...
What about the minutes being added on at the end of games, actually?
Yes, I don't really understand. So basically, from what I can work out with that, and you might know a bit more than me, is they're being very precise on the amount of minutes they're adding on for stoppages. Like previously, it was 30 seconds, for a substitute or something, or a goal. But they're being exact down to the second now, and that's why it's... Yeah. Is that basically what it is?
Do you know why they're doing it?
No.
Because they found out, and I'll tell you what stood out for me last year was Arsenal versus Newcastle. Mm-hmm. What they're trying to do is, what they've worked out, I think, on average last season, the ball was in play 48 minutes.
Wow.
Of a 90-minute game.
Jesus.
They want to get it to 60 minimum.
Yeah.
It's to stop time wasting. If a player goes down injured now, obviously before, because I was watching Howard Webb talk about it before the Arsenal game, because Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher went to the new VAR setup, which looks amazing, by the way. He was saying, before, a referee would blow for the foul, go and see if the player's all right, wait to see... call the medic over, wait for them to come on. The medic would then sit on the pitch and have some treatment. Then they'd go off and have some treatment. Yep. So now what I think they want them to do is go straight off for the treatment, and they have to be off for 30 seconds before they can come on.
Yeah.
Which, like Gary Neville said, I can understand this, is that penalises the team that's been fouled. Because it could get to the point where if a team wants one player to be off for a little bit, get him off injured, he has to go off for half a minute. And half a minute is quite a long time in a game of football.
Yeah, it can be,
so you're sort of penalising the team that's been fouled, because the player that's made the foul gets to stay on the pitch.
So what would happen then if it's the goalkeeper?
Good shout. Never thought of that. I haven't thought of that.
Does that mean
What
he can't?
happens there,
Does
yeah.
that mean he can't come back on because they have to have a goalkeeper? So it's a straight substitution.
That's a great shout.
If you're a manager and you know what I mean, your keeper's off the side of the pitch for 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, that can't happen,
Yeah.
can it? Don't know. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that, and that wasn't asked either when they went there. That's a good shout. It's to stop time wasting, really, which I'm all for because we spoke about that quite heavily last time on the podcast about time wasting. Trying to think what else it was for. The bookings as well, like when players kick the ball away, yellow card straight away.
Yeah.
Also, managers' antics on the sideline. Obviously, Gary Neville has said that is because of Arteta last season, which I can probably understand. I like seeing it, but they're going to be much stricter on managers coming out of their is it a technical area?
Yeah,
Technical area, which will be hard for some managers. Klopp, Arteta, Pep, Mourinho back in the day. Did you see what Mourinho done the other day? Shout out to Mourinho, by the way, in that friendly.
Is this about Artur?
He took Aurora off, didn't he?
Or was it him? Was that how you say the name? Was it
Aurora?
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, he took him off, and the headline made Mourinho look like the bad guy again.
Right.
But when you actually look into it, it was only a friendly, and the other team had made all their subs, and then their player went off injured, so Mourinho took a player off to make it 10 on 10.
Oh, fair.
Shout out to him. Like,
Yeah.
people slag him off instantly. I've always liked him. You like him. I've always openly liked him.
Yeah.
Not many managers would have done that, I don't
No.
think. Has that ever happened before?
It's a friendly though, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, but I've never known that to happen, not even in a friendly, in a
Yeah.
pre-season. Although it's probably never needed to happen before. But fair play to him.
I guess there's also an element of, if his team is a player up in a friendly against probably
It's a lose-lose.
against probably a weaker team, they're not really getting that run out they need for the season.
And it's a lose-lose situation because if he keeps the player on, well, yeah, you should win. It's 11v10. And then it's a lose-lose, basically.
So are these rule changes then? Are they Europe-wide, worldwide, or are they just in the Premier at the moment?
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that answer. But that setup they had, they got a whole new VAR. I think it's in Chelsea. It's in West London somewhere. And it looks incredible. All the laptops where you go to train to learn VAR. I think it's going to get better. It needs to. Yeah. And I think Howard Webb seems to be the man for it. He's in charge of VAR. And he seems to be doing a lot to try and get it right. Must be hard for him.
Hopefully, if it's in Chelsea, it's funded by Todd Bowley.
It probably is somewhere along the line. But right, that's the end of this podcast. Thanks, mate.
Yeah.